Let's talk about Phil Kay, because he is the Assistant Chief Constable of Leicestershire Police. But what he's come out and said this morning may get you a little bit angry today, because he says if your home gets burgled because you didn't lock your windows and doors properly, then you shouldn't expect the police to investigate. He's compared the victims of, in inverted commas, preventable break-ins to the NHS refusing to operate on you if you are obese. Let's discuss this with Ian Johnston, the former Police and Crime Commissioner for Gwent. Mr. Johnston, hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Jason.
And Richard Taylor is a campaigner on policing. Hello, Richard. Good morning. Welcome to BBC Radio Wales. Ian, what do you think? Would you have come out with something like this when you were in charge of Gwent?
Engage and brain come to mind to start with. What I would say, Jason, what exactly did he say? And I'm not trying to defend it by any stretch of the imagination. In what context did he say it? And if we're talking about trying to get a strong crime prevention message across, that's great. But withdrawing a fundamental service that the public expect?
Well, I can tell you what he said.
No.
I can tell you word for word. Do you want me to tell you?
No, I've got it, Jason. What I'm saying is, did he say anything else? I understand that he was talking particularly about Leicester, where they've got a problem with university and students and accept no security. But, and I hate saying this, but just remember Leicester should have got form for this. They're the same force 18 months ago that said they were only going to investigate and attend burglaries for houses with odd numbers.
Was it Leicestershire or was it another force where the police officers went into the place and they started taking pictures as well? Was that Leicestershire Police, or have I got that completely wrong?
It might have been, but let me get this thing in context now. And first of all, I think that this guy's done himself and the police service no credit. However, this is not national police policy. He's speaking for Leicester, not for the rest of the country, and I'm hoping that in the next 24 hours someone senior from Chiefs Council will come out and make some comments that will give the public some reassurance.
Yeah.
These comments are not helpful at all, and it does beg the question, without being too personal or rude, how many burglary victims this guy has actually seen.
Yeah, can I just ask you this question as well, though, Ian? I mean, feel free to knock me down here and say I'm completely incorrect. But am I right in saying that, I follow a lot of people on social media, and I get the almost view that sometimes you may call the police if you have been burgled, or, God forbid, if you have been, I don't know, if your car's been smashed into or whatever, and the police are now investigating crimes over the phone. Am I right?
You're getting more of that, and to be fair to the police, Jason, they've with this current government, they've had a huge decrease with the budget and with the number of officers. However, comments like these, if you get your house burgled, you should expect the police to come. If someone's left a window open inadvertently, well, sorry, but they've still been burgled and they've still had their property taken, and they should still have police attendance, and it should still be investigated.
Yeah, quite right. Richard Taylor, what do you think? Good morning to you.
Well, hello, Jason. Well, I think this Assistant Chief Constable has got it badly wrong. He should be seeing every burglary as an opportunity to catch a burglar. Of course the police should be investigating, should be looking for evidence so they can bring someone to court. They can take a burglar off the street. It doesn't matter whether someone's left a window open or had an insecure door. It's still an opportunity to take a burglar away. And what he seems to have misunderstood is investigating a burglary isn't a service which the police provide to the victim of that crime. It's something we want the police to do for everybody's benefit. It's a way of preventing crime. If you investigate a burglary and get a burglar to court and to prison, then you are preventing future burglaries. And burglary is a crime which causes a lot of harm and upset, and that's where I think the police should be focusing their efforts, on things that cause harm and injuries. It makes people feel worried and insecure in their homes, and it even prompts some people to move house at a huge cost and upheaval. So we want that one of the top things we want our police to be doing is tackling burglary, and of course investigating burglaries is the first step towards doing that.
Why then would Mr. Kay come out and say this in public?
Well, think, as has been just mentioned, it is about giving the prevention message, and particularly to students. Now, I've lived in a shared house, and actually we've been burgled and had lots of laptops taken and lots of electronic equipment, because that's what you find in a shared house with young people in it. But the problem we had was essentially I was renting some of the cheapest accommodation available, and we had no power to upgrade the doors and windows. It's not something you can do when you're renting a house as a group of people. So we do need to focus on prevention, and we need to look at things like planning policies as a secured by design planning concept, where you build new homes and new estates with lighting, with gravel, with planting, with overlooking, and everything which helps reduce crime. But prevention of crime is something for everyone to do. Of course, the police should have an input, but it's something we all need to do. And insurance companies, in particular, they've got an interest in preventing crime. That they're actually the source of. They're the reason. One of the reasons that I have the decent locks and security is it gives me cheaper insurance.
Yeah.
So it's something for the society as a whole to do.
Yeah, Ian, final question. I often describe this show as a window on Wales. Right? That may be an ego thing, but very often when I talk to people about the police, I may be completely wide of the mark here. And, you're the type of chap who will come on the radio and say, yeah, you are out of touch. But I get the feeling that people of Wales are losing faith with their local constabulary. Is that wide of the mark?
I think that they're losing touch in terms of knowing someone local they can pick the phone up.
No, I said losing faith.
Yeah.
That if their house was to be burgled today and they called the cops, perhaps they might not even come out and see them.
Well, let me try and give you some reassurance, Jason. Using my network, I've spoken to two of the chief constables in Wales this morning, knowing I was coming on the programme with you, and you'd be ready to trip me up in case I didn't have the facts right. and they, neither of them, support Mr. Kay's views or his statement that he's made. And one last thing, if there was such a thing as a burglars association, they'd be clapping their hands this morning thinking, we can go and burgle and the police are not even going to investigate it. Yeah. So I think Mr. Kay's not had a good day.
Yeah, that's the danger of it. Great to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed. Cracking start. Ian Johnston, former Police and Crime Commissioner for Gwent. Richard Taylor, campaigner on policing. So over to you. What do you think? Do you think Mr. Kay is right here? If you leave your windows open, well, the police don't have any divine right to go out there and actually investigate the crime. Do you think the police should bother investigating preventable crimes? You can text the show 81012, emails jason@bbc.co.uk. And tell me if I'm right or wrong here, but I really get the feeling, speaking to you every single day, that you are losing faith in the police. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Let me know if I'm right. Let me know if I'm wrong. jason@bbc.co.uk on the email. And don't forget, you can call us on any story that we cover today. We'd love to hear from you. 03700 100 110. Give me a call.